Hey guys.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
If I don't look like fucking summer right now, if I don't remind you of summer, then you're just wrong. You have a weird perception of summer. You're probably from some weird place where summer is actually winter. What's up, guys? Today we're gonna do a rambling, talking video once again about my epiphanies on relationships. So if you're sick of hearing me talk about fucking relationships and shit, I'm sorry. I'm having the Tara Babcock relationship arc, or I'm trying to better myself in that way, because I never really did that as an adult. It was always just me kind of feeling like I had everything figured out, and I was in a lifelong relationship that I didn't really have to work on because we were both very similar, but like I found out there's a lot of things I have to work on in order to be a better person as a person in a relationship. And today we're going to bring up this comment right here, which I saw recently, and I kind of just hearted it. I feel bad because usually I would be like, hey, gonna put this in a video, but then I like totally forgot to say anything, so I just hearted it, and it was a question. And so I'm doing a whole video, so hopefully this suffices to be like an apology for just like hearting something and ignoring the question, as if I was just like scrolling and being disingenuous about what I like and dislike, just to like everything so that everyone feels special and follows me and likes me and gets on my OnlyFans, which you should do that anyway, even if you don't like me, because you'll have fun. Today we're going to be talking about compromise and some other little random tidbits and just kind of rambling, because I have to do 2 videos today and I don't have time to have my editors turn around on a video to get it up on Friday. Today is Tuesday, so I have a few today is Tuesday, so I have a few days. However, I'm traveling on Thursday very early morning, and tomorrow I have to do a bunch of annoying shit. To me, annoying shit is tanning, hair, no, I don't have to do hair, but like nails, eyebrows, all that shit. I really don't like the girl upkeep shit. It's so boring. The only respite that I have from all of that monotony is that like at least my eyebrow bitch / tan bitch and my hair bitch are like interesting people to talk to, so it's kind of like I have friends there. Anyway, what's up? This is something I've been struggling with as well, the compromise aspect of relationships, because previously in my previous relationship I was averse to it, because Jay is also averse to it. We're kind of like, we want to just coexist together and let each other do whatever the fuck we want and hopefully be okay with that. And so as beautiful and as utopia seeming that is, sometimes that's not the case, especially with normal people who aren't as much like me as Jay. So I've become more comfortable with compromising myself and also asking others to compromise. And I honestly think it's been harder for me to ask others to compromise than it's been for me to compromise myself. Because I'm kind of like, if I'm in love with someone, I'm like, I'll do whatever you want, whatever, sure, like mostly. But when it comes to asking someone for what I need, that's always been something that I really didn't want to do. And it always felt like, oh my God, I'm burdening them, I'm making them less free, I'm putting them in a cage. But really, it's like a subjective feeling. So you kind of just have to be open and communicative with your partner and be like, yo, is this a huge, huge deal to the point where you're gonna resent me if I don't want you to do this? And is there a way for you to not feel that way? Or is there a way for me to not need that compromise so that we can stay together? Or are we just wholly incompatible? And I always thought that like I had to find someone who would let me be entirely whatever I want to be, and that I had to let be entirely whatever they would be without me. And I never really thought about the idea that like, you know, without me, Hunter like drinks a lot more and parties a lot more and like does all of this like iffy stuff, you know, and it's not as good for him, and he doesn't go to the gym and like work out as much or as good as he does when he has me. And so like some of those things he doesn't even really want to do. It's just kind of like he does it because he doesn't have anyone helping him not. So it can kind of make you better in a way, and I think some of the compromises I am making are making me better as well. My ideas on compromise are confusing though, because like when she asked, I'm assuming it's a she, when she asked, how do you know what you want to compromise on? It's like a combination of using as much stoicism as you possibly can and being like, can I be okay with this? And then also, on the other hand, there's another facet of it, which is more like a principled stance. Like, do I want to be the kind of person who has this in the relationship, not is okay with it, because you could be okay with something, like it could not mentally fuck you up, but you could be like, I don't like the look of this, I don't like where this will progress us in a few years, and I just don't want that kind of relationship. Like, for instance, I could be okay with like a guy who does porn, but for some reason, at least right now, I haven't like come across someone who like needs to do that, so I haven't like thought about whether I want to change my position on this. But the idea of someone actually being in porn right now, I don't think I would like it for many reasons. Like, I don't feel like I would get enough sex, or I feel like they would see sex more as a job and then it wouldn't be as fun to do with me. Or like maybe there would be some like aspects of the optics that are bad. Like, I don't know, there's things like that where it's like, I'm not dying because he's fucking other people. I'm not dying because he's on camera with another person, because obviously I don't care if my man fucks other people. But like, there's something about that rubs me the wrong way. So I wouldn't want to compromise on it, even though I technically could, because it would make me overall unhappy with the relationship. So I feel like there's a balance there. And I feel like a lot of people are a little too rigid on what they will and won't compromise on. And I think that's okay, actually. I think what you have to ask yourself when you're trying to decide whether or not you want to compromise something is like, if I push this boundary a little bit that I've set, is this going to like make me feel like I'm not respected, or like I don't respect myself? Or is this boundary worth upholding and possibly losing the person? You know, because like, you could be someone who sets so many boundaries that it's like almost impossible for you to find a mate. And that's your prerogative. You can be undateable if you want to. You shouldn't have to compromise what you really, really want to not compromise for a partner. But at the same time, maybe if you're so rigid that you can never compromise, or you're never doing anything for your partner and they're doing everything for you, maybe it's worth trying to figure out how to grow so that you can be more okay with compromises, so that you can have a bigger dating pool, basically, you know, or be more dateable. And it all depends on what you're happy with. I think a lot of people are often like, oh, I can never do that, I can never do this, and then they like end up like being like, there's no fish in the sea for me. And it's just like, well, you can technically, like Marcus Aurelius and all of the Stoic philosophers would tell you, you can endure anything that's endurable, and you cannot complain about it, and you can get to that point. It just requires maybe some therapy. It requires like a lot of working on yourself. And you know, a funny thought that popped into my head recently, this is going off topic, I think I'm kind of done with the compromise section. I think it's like a very personal choice. It's just a very personal choice. Like, but I do think you should consider like what you can emotionally be okay with and why, what you principally can be okay with and why, and how much you're restricting your dating pool and possibilities by being so rigid or so lax. Because on one end, too rigid and your dating pool is going to be really small and you're going to be like not very open-minded. On the other hand, if you will sacrifice whatever for anyone, you become this like punching bag that people don't respect. So I do think that you should have some boundaries that you set up. Like I have like 3 or 4 like really big boundaries where it's like, this would be a deal breaker. But I try not to have those on an emotional level because I want to be a strong person. I want to have them on a principled level where like, if this person does that, it doesn't like devastate me to my core. Like maybe it would make me sad to lose them, but like the act of them doing that thing doesn't devastate me. It just makes me know that we are incompatible. And then the less of those I have, the more dateable and the more options I have, right? Hopefully all of that makes sense. If you need any clarifications, you can ask in the comments. On videos like this, I like to try to respond to as many people as I can, or I'll do like a follow-up Q&A video or something. But anyway, what I was trying to talk about before is something that I realized when I was editing one of my last adventure videos with Hunter in it, is that like, me and Jay were really cute behind the scenes. Like I would baby talk to him and he would baby talk to me and we would be cuddly and stuff. But I never showed that when I was out in public. Never in a video. Like we were always just like bros. We have like 2 modes. I have 2 modes basically. And it's like the bro girl that everyone thinks is like a dominant girl, and you know, I have a strong personality and I'm talkative and I'm confident and all this stuff. And then you have like the side of me that only like my person or like my partner ever sees, and it's like cute, cuddly, submissive brat type person. You know, like I'm still a brat. I still, you know, will talk shit to my partner, especially when I'm in bro mode. And like my partner gets both of these. My partner gets bro mode, like the best friend, and then also gets the like the cutesy, I'll wait on you hand and foot and do everything for you and be like your little housewife, but I'll also be kind of like a, you know, brat, like a cat girl or something, you know? By the way, I actually want to start a TikTok now because I had this great idea. Hunter doesn't know anything about internet culture. He doesn't know anything about like e-girls or anything like that. So like when I told him about cat girls, he was like, what in the fuck? And then I just want to like get like a really good cat girl, like fucking ears. By the way, how do you like this hair? And then I want to like just bother him while he's working from home and make like TikTok videos out of it. I think that would be so funny. And it would be right up my alley. It wouldn't be like gay, like dancing, like, I'm fucking 12 and I'm dancing on TikTok. And I think it would be PG enough that I wouldn't get banned, basically. So let me know if you like that idea. But anyway, there's those two sides to me. And I realized that like before Hunter, me and Jay were only like that behind closed doors, so I never showed that side of me to you guys. Like, I was vulnerable in that I will talk about anything, but you really got the philosophical / bro side of me, and you never got the cutesy, like, I love you, baby side of me, and I think it's really interesting because I thought that I was giving my entire self to you guys, like you knew everything, and I talked and showed everything, but I realized I really had not done that. It was all just like me clowning on Jay or trolling Jay, and really it stemmed from like me and Jay both agreeing that like when we're out with friends and when we're out doing stuff, we don't want to be that couple. Like Jay hopefully doesn't take offense to this, but he is 100% that couple now with Brittany, and it's almost like annoying to go out with him. It has to be a couples thing because they just do not integrate with the rest of society. Like me and Hunter will have our moments. Jay will disagree about this as well. But Hunter and I will have our moments where we're being really cute with each other. But then like at parties and things like that, we're like barely together. We're just like talking to other people, or I'm like shit talking Hunter and like doing the bro stuff in front of other people, and he's shit talking me and we're just being like bros. But like occasionally I'll be like, oh, love you too, or whatever. But like it's not as strict of a rule anymore to just like not do it out in public because we found it cringe. Me and Jay did. But yeah, so it's interesting. You're seeing a new aspect of me through the videos where I'm with Hunter, where I'm just kind of like adoring him. And like, yeah, that's kind of how I am as an actual girlfriend or an actual partner behind the scenes when I'm in that mode. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably why a lot of people don't like actually know that I'm submissive. They think that I'm just dominant because I have such a strong personality on here. And I don't know. It's interesting. It's a whole new fucking chapter of my life that I'm showing you guys. But some other stuff that I wanted to talk about relationship-wise is it was so obvious, and I knew it before. I've always said in sex videos, in relationship videos, in friendship videos, in fucking everything, I've always said, like, communication is key, and you should never stop talking to your partner. But me and Jay, it really felt like we just agreed on everything philosophically, but, like, we never had deep conversations where, like, something I did bothered him and something he did bothered me, and we just kind of like became better people because of it. But I really, really feel like Hunter and I are making each other better. I feel like every trait he has, I lack, and every trait I have, he lacks, and we're like making each other better by providing different prerogatives on things and perspectives. And then we also are like overcoming like small issues like the traveling thing, because we come from such different backgrounds and have such different like love languages and stuff, that like we're kind of working on it together. And like I would be totally down to like go to like couples therapy with him, but we're doing it on our own instead, because honestly from what I've seen like from other people talking, it really just seems like couples therapy is like a mediator that doesn't really give advice, doesn't really psychoanalyze, just kind of like offers suggestions and like does this. Like what we're doing now is we're talking about, because I have a lot of issues with like long traveling away from me, and Hunter doesn't want to do long traveling away from me, but I still also have issues with short traveling. And there's things that he has done, like he is really bad at communication and I'm really needy, right, in that way. I'm not, it's weird to say needy because like it's funny, like Hunter always says I'm the clingiest and most independent girl he's ever dated. So it's like, I need it for like emotional, like, I don't know, just like emotional and sexual gratification every day or whatever, and like he wants to be in the moment and just kind of like be gone when he's gone or whatever, and like that makes no sense to me. So like what we're doing is like once a week, instead of going to couples therapy with like some idiot that we both are gonna have like the barrier to entry of thinking that we're smarter than this person, and I just know too much to not have that kind of like, it wouldn't be conscious because I would try my best to get into it, but I would definitely in the back of my head be like, oh, this isn't going to work, this is stupid, and Hunter feels the same. But like I know the structure of how you're supposed to do this. So I want to bring up like 1 or 2 issues that I don't understand, ask him questions, do like 30 minutes to 50 minutes maximum. And then if he's sick of it, because he'll get sick of talking quicker than I will, and he'll be like, oh, can we just end it? Like, I feel like we're talking in circles or something. Then we just end it, and then we talk again next week about some other small aspect of it. And we like don't need a mediator because we never yell at each other. We're never getting the yelling, angry mode. It's just kind of like inquisitive. And I really love that like Hunter never had that before in a relationship. And I honestly never had that before in a relationship. Like I could talk to Jay about anything, but it felt like there was really nothing to talk about, nothing to work on. Maybe because we had grown together so much that we were kind of just like the same person, and it wasn't really obvious where we needed to grow personally. So right now for me, what I'm trying to grow on is to literally be okay with the travel on the emotional level, which goes back to the compromise, but also put my boundaries in where I want them to be, where it's like principally, I don't want to be the couple that does all of the impactful like life traveling abroad separately, like that kind of thing, you know? And so it's interesting to find like where your boundaries are, and it's something you have to introspect a lot about. Like I'll stay up at night, like I used to when we first met. I would stay up like 2 hours like every other night. I barely got any sleep, just like that was the time that my brain was so wired into thinking about stuff, and I would get like really sad, I would get really anxious, and then I would wake up in the morning and I felt like I had a resolution in my head. And it's just, you gotta be honest with yourself and really think like, is this the person I want to be? Because like, when you think about like society thinks this is weird, and it's like, okay, let's say I fully restricted him from traveling without me. Well, I don't fully restrict him or at all from fucking other girls. That's societally acceptable. This one isn't. So really the question you want to ask yourself is not like, is this normal? Is this okay? Is this like what everyone else would agree with? You got to ask like, is this something I can compromise on? And is this a balanced relationship where we're both compromising a little bit, or where we are meshing? And if we're not meshing, can we get closer to the center together? Or is this like fully incompatible? And I feel like a way that I've matured a lot these last 2 years with Hunter is like, I used to like catastrophize. Like as soon as it was like, oh, he has something that I never thought that I would be okay with, I'm just like, oh, well, I guess we're not compatible. I guess we're done. Bye. Hi. I gotta fucking start like turning this guy off in my brain. And I would do all of the horrible coping mechanisms. Like I would get cold for a day. And it's not like I wanted to be cold to be mean to him. It was just like, I am hurting and I'm not good at being fake, and we're just not going to talk about it, you know? So now, like, I just tell him, like, I'm feeling sad, we talk. If it doesn't resolve, he knows why I'm sad, and we just talk about it again, and then, like, he'll be really sweet, and he knows how to deal with, like, because, like, if we did argue, he would be like, all right, I want to go to bed. And he can just conk out and go to bed. I do not like going to bed angry. So I'm like, oh my God, we're done forever. He doesn't love me anymore. And now he knows to like kind of be like, angrily be like, I love you so much, and then cuddle me all night, and it doesn't feel awful. And I know to let the conversation stop if he feels like he's getting overwhelmed. Because I don't ever get overwhelmed by conversation or like trying to work things out. But like if he does, then it's not productive. So there's a lot of things that I've learned, and going back to, sorry, I went off on a tangent a little bit, but going back to the whole like not catastrophizing, now I really, really feel like we can get through fucking anything. I see it as like, I am choosing to love this person, which I think was another Stoic philosopher said. I don't know who it was. Maybe it wasn't a Stoic philosopher, but I know it was a philosopher that said like, you choose who you love. Like, you can't choose who you have a crush on or who you lust after, really, or, like, whatever. But you choose who you decide to love, because, like, when you're in a relationship, sometimes it's work. And if the other person is choosing you, too, it's like, and you're actually working on it, it's bound to never fail. And so, like, the constant, like, talking and being able to talk to him about anything, there are so many times when, like, I cannot believe this has ever happened to me, but I was talking about to him last night about this, and I was like, holy shit, like, I've never been nervous to say something to someone or bring something up to someone, before in my entire life, but like he still makes me nervous because I'm like so worried what he's gonna say. But then I know that we're gonna get through it, whatever his position is, and he'll tell me why, and I'll slowly start to understand and be less rigid on my opinion because like I'm seeing things from his perspective. And I've always known that everyone grows up so entirely differently because of their environment that like I could see something as an act of unloving me and he could see it as a literal act of loving me. Like that's how different people can be just based on like the relationship dynamics they had growing up with their parents or like just everything, like their attachment styles, which I talked about a lot. So like, I don't know, I feel like I'm growing as a person overall, but then in a relationship certainly. And I feel like it's just a partnership where we're getting stronger and stronger, and we really are getting stronger and stronger. There was a time like last week where I was laying in bed with him. Oh, I look naked. Hi guys. I was laying in bed with him, and like I was like, oh my God, I feel like we actually like solved, like not like threw it to the wayside or stopped thinking about it a little bit. Like we solved every little issue and most big issues we had in the beginning, and I feel solid. And I remember in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, this is not solid. I remember like always feeling like he wouldn't be there for me or like, how do I know he loves me and all this shit? And now it's like, it's obvious. So it's crazy. It's like, I don't know. Instead of having like a partnership with Jay, even though like obviously he was a partner, he was like me because we grew up from like early high school together. So it wasn't really like an adult relationship where you had to like bring two different experiences together and make each other better off of it. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's crazy to think that like a year ago or something, a year and a half ago, I made a video where I was like, I don't know where the fuck this is gonna go, but I gotta try it. And now I'm like, no matter what happens from here on out, this is an excellent experience and I've grown so much from it and I'm so grateful for it. Like he could like steal all, by the way, we have a joint bank account now, which is interesting. It's our first step of actual relationshipness. But anyway, he could just steal all of my money like tomorrow and run away, and like I would be like, shit, well that's another learning experience and that sucks, but I've learned so much from him and I'll always be grateful for that. And it's crazy to think that's possible. I don't know. It's really cool. So anyway, I'm going to Montana this weekend. I'm super excited about it because I've always wanted to go to Yellowstone and I love the show Yellowstone. Hunter loves the show Yellowstone. It was our first show we watched together. It's funny. He watched one episode without me, hungover. It was at the beginning of our relationship. He watched it hungover and he was like, I just started the show. It started out crazy. It was a cool episode. Do you want to like rewatch the first episode with me and then we'll start watching it on our lazy days when you come over? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And we fell in love with it. Then his sister, who is getting married, had planned to get married in Mexico. She watched the show and her husband or fiance watched the show and they were like, we have to have a wedding in Yellowstone. So we're going all out. Hunter actually got like a Yellowstone belt buckle and like, oh, he's gonna look like a cowboy. I'm gonna look like a cowgirl. I'm gonna try to take some OnlyFans stuff there because I really like the aesthetic of cowboy boots, cowboy hat, like a little, like something like this, but maybe in a dress form, and then just kind of like being like naked and slowly in like a field. Hopefully I'll get that done, but we're definitely gonna take pictures and have a lot of fun. And I'm also compromising on trying to understand how someone can be super close with their family because that's not me. So that's a work in progress, but I'm doing a lot better. Like I'm also trying to understand like he's really close to his family but keeps them at a distance. He'd be like if anyone, okay, so for instance, we went out with our friend the other night and our friend, her husband's brother was there and he was like, I can't believe she acted so crazy in front of his brother. And I'm like, some people see brothers as like friends, not like something to be like, oh, gotta be on your best behavior in front of. So it's really weird. It's like loving someone so much, but then being so formal around them is like very foreign to me. So that's another thing that I'm kind of getting used to. But like, I don't have a sense of like resentment when he's different anymore. You know, it's not like, oh, like you're different, this is never gonna work, or you're different, you don't love me, and if we don't love the same way, then like blah, blah, blah. You know, it doesn't feel that way anymore. It feels like a real team, and I'm super excited about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's crazy to think that like when I think I'm pretty evolved, I can evolve more. That's the beauty of being a human who's kind of tunnel visioning into their lives, into their little fucking echo chamber bubble, and they're like, I have ascended to full self-actualization, but really, I can go so much further, and I have so much further to go. So, exciting news, exciting stuff. I love you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about compromise and everything else I said in this video, and I will see you in the next one. All right, I'll give you a small twerk. Small twerk. There you go. OnlyFans, by the way, because once again, we fully demonetized. It's back and forth every month. Annoying as fuck. Oh my God. By the way, guys, really quick before we go, I got this package in the mail, and I told everyone who is still sending me things, like stuff's still trickling in a little bit, that even though I'm not doing F&M anymore, I will open the final packages in a random video. So let's go ahead and open this one. It comes from Canada. Red Ring 3D Photography. Open this up. Ooh. Send us 20 photos, we make 3D figures. Okay, redring.ca is what you should check out, and we're gonna open this up. I have no idea what this is. It says, handmade, thank you. The biggest merch collab in history, come join us. Oh my God, they actually turned me into a little figure, except my ankles broke off. A picture of me, hold on, I'll fucking show you close up with B-roll. It's a picture of me turned into like me wearing one of my hiking outfits. And then like, oh my God, this is so cute. I love this so much. There's one of Amaranth, 2D Terra turned into 3D Terra. I love this so much, this is so fucking cool. Thank you, redring.ca. Holy shit, thank you so much. Holy shit, that's fucking cool. Check them out. You can probably buy me.